after Chrisean Rock posted a video of her son Christian Jesus Porter, who was over 2 years old and still unable to walk, communicate, or keep his head up. Fans became concerned. Her actions during her pregnancy have always raised questions regarding his health. However, Chrisean is ignoring it and acting clumsily. She posted a video of herself holding her baby at 4 months old and emotionalizing her praise of his intelligence, which sparked the issue. But observers saw that he was shrieking like a cat, had no head movement, and lacked hand-eye coordination. A possible underlying medical condition is indicated by each of these symptoms. According to one worried person, Chrisean Rock denies her son's illness. Junior, the child, is not meeting normal developmental milestones. He ought to be able to sustain his head and chest while on his stomach, yet he is unable to do so. He also doesn't smile or coo. Chrisean says he only recognizes the scent of marijuana and her body odor. He continues to meow like a cat with poor hand-eye coordination. Some people think she's attempting to defend her child by claiming it's very intelligent because she's reading these posts that reveal his condition. He's quite smart. However, let's face it, he is acting more like a 1-month-old than a 4-month-old. Chrisean supporters immediately defend her, claiming that there is nothing at all wrong with her child. Even if there were a problem, some contend that it might be inherited, saying things like, if you know so much about a baby you've never even met, then please explain the diagnosis. They chastise people for behaving like experts without medical degrees. They draw attention to the fact that individuals just see a few TV snippets and are unaware of the whole event. They also serve as a reminder that many parents have children with unique needs, and that issues like these are not necessarily caused by marijuana or alcohol. Chrisean Jr. may have chromosomal or DNA-related genetic flaws, according to several theories. But there is more to worry about Chrisean's substance use during pregnancy than meets the eye. There is strong evidence that she smoked marijuana and drank alcohol while she was pregnant. The internet has done extensive research on the baby's medical history. Even her boyfriend Blueface, who is purportedly the father of the EC, voiced his concerns in a now public post, saying, "My son is not healthy because she drank, smoked, and got hit her whole pregnancy. She couldn't even take 1 month off." State. Chrisean Jr., the baby son of reality TV star and social media sensation. Chrisean Rock has drawn increasing attention and conjecture in recent months. Numerous individuals on social media sites like Instagram and Twitter speculate that the infant might be exhibiting symptoms that are typical of developmental birth abnormalities, fetal alcohol syndrome or FAS. Despite the lack of medical confirmation, these assertions have generated heated debates, particularly in the wake of Chrisean Rock's contentious Instagram Live. After multiple recordings of the infant weeping hysterically and making regular meowing sounds appeared online, the rumors intensified. These sounds were perceived by worried observers as indications of pain or suffering rather than normal baby behavior. The baby's exceptional frequency and severity of suffering prompted observers to speculate about potential physical or neurological issues. Experts in pediatrics caution against drawing judgments before receiving an official diagnosis. However, this hasn't stopped the fast development of public speech on social media. In a live video that Chrisean shared on Instagram, the discussion heated up. The initial purpose of the film was to respond to the criticism she received for getting Blueface's mugshot tattooed on her face, a decision that many deemed illogical and suggestive of more serious personal problems. Chrisean vehemently defended herself, emphasizing her devotion to Blueface. But the sound of her infant's cries soon distracted the audience. She was criticized for her public drama and for allegedly ignoring her child's needs. While some expressed sincere concern for the child, others questioned her ability to be a good parent. The health of the infant. It turned out to be a pivotal moment. Chrisean Rock's story shifted from personal drama to her son's well-being. Chrisean's public admissions of substance usage contributed to the growth of speculation. Regarding FAS, FAS is a dangerous condition brought on by alcohol use during pregnancy. Even if there is no official record that verifies drug or alcohol usage during pregnancy, behavioral issues, developmental disabilities, and distinctive facial traits are some of its symptoms. However, a comprehensive medical evaluation, not viral videos or internet conjecture, is necessary to diagnose such a disorder, whether incorrect or not. The public's worry nevertheless draws attention to more general concerns about celebrity motherhood and responsibility in the social media era. Christian rock is still the increasing focus on Junior's condition, highlights the need for privacy, responsible discussion, and most importantly, appropriate medical care. She shares experiences from her life, particularly those affecting her child. Professionals, not internet critics, should ultimately decide if the baby has a medical problem. It is hoped that the child would get the help and medical care he requires if there is any reason for concern. In the background, people couldn't help but observe Christian Jr.'s terrible sobbing. He sounded as though he was having trouble breathing, which heightened worries. One worried mother commented, "I have never heard a baby cry like that in my life." However, Christian appeared more preoccupied with ignoring the child's anguish and protecting her face tattoo. Although it's difficult to accept, that is the truth. Charleston White made a terrifying prognosis before the kid was even born. He wagered $5,000 that Christian's child would not live, and an additional $2,000 that the child would be born with autism, according to a video. Some now contend that his remarks were uncannily accurate, despite how harsh and vicious they sounded. He confidently declared, "I got $5,000 that Christian Rock and Blueface are going to have a baby, and that baby won't be healthy." He also wagered that if the baby survived, it would have autism or other problems. Viewers began comparing Kwan's looks to those of a child with FOS. We started sharing live recordings of himself with Junior. They indicated a tiny head, low birth weight, limited growth, low nasal bridge, narrow eye apertures, and possible vision and communication problems. Concerns regarding the baby's health were raised by the flood of comments. Christian Jr.'s cries seemed so powerful, almost like a screech, and now people are starting to understand why. His lack of eye movement and fixed stare have also raised the possibility that he is blind. But these are merely conjectures. They are not yet supported by any medical evidence. Many, including Chrisean herself, have rejected these allegations as being too widespread on the internet. She publicly defended her child, claiming that his actions were typical of a newborn. "Who are you guys to tell me what he's diagnosed with?" She retorted, "I rebuke everything you're saying about my child." But the cries now make more sense, especially in light of worries about a potential vision condition. What does he look like? What does he sound like? You don't know anything about God, and you don't know anything about nothing. You can't talk to us like that. Because of his unwavering gaze and lack of eye contact, Chrisean Jr. is still thought to be blind. However, once more, no official diagnosis has been made. People continue to discuss while Chrisean dismisses it, stating he's simply a baby. Period. She has even retaliated, claiming, "You guys have no idea what he looks or sounds like. Stop talking about my child." However, now that an old video has come to light, worries are growing once more. Junior is nearly 2 years old, and according to a fast Google search, children at this age usually obey basic instructions: walk smoothly, climb stairs, and construct two-word sentences. The audience isn't seeing that. But Blueface isn't off the hook either. Why post a photo of your son's hernia online just to prove a point? Even his own mother, Clarissa, expressed heartbreak. One user wrote, "Christian Rock really pisses me off. Her baby clearly needs professional help." But she won't admit it because that means owning up to what she did during pregnancy. And that's the real issue. Blueface has openly called her an unfit mother, especially after he revealed Junior hadn't had his hernia surgery because Christian kept skipping appointments to do whatever she wanted. She said she couldn't tell if Junior was staring at her or into space after they met, which begs the question, can he see? She added, "It broke my heart. I couldn't tell if he was staring at me, you, or the sky." However, she continued, "He can still be a joy if he is able to laugh, cry, and smile." Even so, a lot of people are begging for help for this child. And now it's official. Junior is blind in both eyes, according to Clarissa, when she watches a video from a restaurant where Christian tried to feed him mashed potatoes. It all makes sense now because he wasn't blinking or reaching for the spoon instead. He was just staring straight ahead. And it's just heartbreaking. Everyone could see something wasn't right. And even though I don't remember Christian ever crying like a cat, Clarissa confirmed that there is a syndrome that causes Junior to cry like a cat. Despite this, it's difficult not to feel sorry for this little boy, especially since his mother smoked and drank during her pregnancy, as we all saw on her appearances on Bad Girls Club and Blueface on TV. Chrisean is still in denial, and the baby has wide-set, unblinking eyes and looks like a newborn fetus. She's not a fit parent, and honestly, she needs therapy herself. She thinks his problems will go away with time, but they'll only become more apparent. By now, all that could be said about Christian Jr. and his aloof parents has been said. Now, it's your turn. What do you think? I'll see you in the next one. However, that's not the whole story. Chrisean also had a falling out with her best friend Marsh over Junior's health. While Chrisean was in jail, Marsh took over and wanted to have him checked out by a doctor. But when Chrisean learned that Marsh was going to take him to the hospital, she became irate. Marsh shared her side in leaked messages, and I became irate when she called from jail, and I refused to let her keep Junior. It was difficult, but I felt like a true friend would have supported me, especially since I was caring for her child. Marsh went on to say that when her sister watched Junior so she could work and earn money, she noticed that the child kept spitting up and suggested taking him to the hospital. When Christian learned of this, she lost it, called from jail, and had someone named Smiley come get Junior from Marsh's sister. She kept promising me money, but days passed and nothing came. I had my Cash App. Junior had nothing but the clothes on his back. No milk because he is unable to eat food. Determined to hide her son's condition, even if it meant denying him medical care. Marsh also said that Christian went out of her way to stage photo shoots to make Junior look healthy in order to keep appearances for her fans. Marsh shared that she used to be deep in the Reddit threads, exposing Chrissy's notifications on checking them constantly. And she said you could even hear Reddit alerts going off during Chrissy's live streams. I'd be doing her lashes, and she'd show me posts that said things like, "I'm going to post a picture of him and his walker later." To which Chrissy would reply, "But Chrissy, he really can't." To which Christian would reply, "I got to make them think he can. Otherwise, they'll blame it on me, drinking." She would add, "But I wasn't even drinking that much." Marsh put it simply, she's sick. Bro, and the most telling part is, despite everything, she's still not getting her son the help he clearly needs. Christian recently appeared at an event with Junior, and the child was still clearly struggling to hold his head up at the age of nearly 2. Instead of addressing the issue or seeking help, fans say she's been hiding behind a spiritual facade. She's been on a streak of talking about finding God and leaning into spirituality, but many aren't convinced. A person commented, "Why isn't she in jail for what she did during pregnancy?" This is sad, African. There are people out there who can actually help your son. Is this not against the law? Another person commented, "Sis baby is 20 months old and still unable to walk, talk, or even hold his head up. Call social services, please." Fans have become increasingly concerned after Christian Rock was spotted out and about with her almost 2-year-old son, Christian Jesus Porter, who at this age has not yet been able to walk, speak, or hold his head up on his own 2 feet. The general sentiment is clear. She is not only avoiding help, but also denying her child the basic care he desperately needs. It's a heartbreaking situation, plain and simple. Concerns about his development are not new. In fact, rumors about Christian's behavior during her pregnancy have been around for a long time. Despite this, she seems unwilling to acknowledge the seriousness of the situation, dismissing it with a combination of denial and deflection. This uneasy tension started as soon as she introduced Christian Jr. to the world. One video in particular sparked strong reactions when Can held her then 4-month-old son, tearfully shared her joy at becoming a mother, and praised her baby's intelligence. However, viewers noticed a different story was developing. As for her son, he's missing important developmental milestones. By now, he should be able to lift his head and chest during tummy time, but he can't. He doesn't coo, doesn't smile, and only recognizes her body odor and the smell of marijuana, according to her. He still makes high-pitched cat-like sounds and exhibits no hand-eye coordination. One worried viewer commented that Christian Rock is simply in denial. This raises the possibility of an underlying medical issue. He's quite smart. However, her fans are eager to defend her, saying nothing is wrong. Even if the truth is that he's just acting like a 1 or 2-month-old would at his age. And even if something is wrong, some claim it's just genetic. People jump on apps pretending to be doctors without a single degree. If everyone is so certain about what's happening with a baby they didn't give birth to, then by all means, what exactly is his diagnosis? Most people don't really know her. They only know what they've seen in a few TV clips. Many parents are raising children with special needs, and it's usually not related to alcohol or marijuana. Some people speculate that the child may have genetic defects, possibly linked to DNA or chromosomes. However, the rumors surrounding Christian's substance use during her pregnancy aren't just idle gossip. Support for the allegations that she used drugs while pregnant. And even Christian's lover Blueface. Ho is thought to be the father because he has openly voiced concerns about Christian Jr.'s health.